Evening and welcome to episode 30 of the Die, Laugh, Love podcast. Episode 30 is a pretty big deal. I started this about 9-10 months ago. It's almost been a year of hosting this podcast, and I'm on episode 30, which is quite the achievement. Now, before we get into tonight's, thank you for your applause, and before we get into tonight's session and how Spirit's going to show up amongst us all, I want to talk about the Die, Laugh, Love podcast being a play on those sort of corny wall hangings that say, live, laugh, love. I'm a big believer that we're all going to die and we should do our best to cultivate love and laughter before we do. So that's why it's called the Die, Laugh, Love podcast. Now, when it comes to these sessions, sometimes I know what I'll be talking about walking into them, and sometimes they're a surprise. This session is both a surprise with kind of a little bit of an idea of where we're going or what direction I'm supposed to point myself in. I do want to let everybody know that if you are on tonight's session, there is a chance that you will be called forth for a reading. If you've been here before, I hope that you've seen that I don't really control this process. I don't have any control over who comes forth, what happens, what people talk about. It really is not up to me. It is up to the angel that helps me do what I do. Everybody here has spirits and ancestors that are with them all day, every day. I am not the one that decides whose ancestors or beloved dead or dearly departed get to come through me. That is not a me thing. That is an angel thing, if you will. Now, when it comes to the process of how this works, I will channel a spirit, or I will be drawn in some rare circumstances to an individual on the screen, but I will start to channel somebody as they come through to me. And with this information, I request that people unmute themselves, wave their hands, let me know that it's them that I'm talking to. On episode 29, I had 4 or 5 different spirits over the course of the evening. The last spirit that came through to me was a very, very clear spirit, somebody who had took their own life in a pickup truck, all sorts of details. And there was a lot of silence on my screen. After the session was over, somebody emails me and says, hey, that was my uncle. And I'm like, why didn't you say something while you were online with me? If you don't want to have a connection, if you don't want to speak, please step out of this and go watch the other episodes as they're recorded. You are as much a part of this as I am, as the angels are, as the spirits are. So if it sounds like it could be somebody in your spiritual family, please come forth, and maybe through a couple of questions and having to figure it out through a couple of different people, we'll figure out who it's for. But please don't do the awful thing to me and just shut up when you feel like it's for you, because that makes this really hard on me and the spirits that are trying to come through me as well. So with that being said, I want to start this off with a funny question. And I don't know why I'm here to talk about this, but I am being prompted to talk about it. I have read tarot for as long as I have spoke to spirit, and you may or may not be familiar with tarot cards. I don't really bring them up here in this podcast, but I am being guided to talk about my tarot card of the month. So at the end of the year, between Christmas and New Year's, I always do myself a wheel of the year, a spread of the year about what my month is going to look like, all the 12 months of the year. And right now, the tarot card for my month is card Justice, which is the 11th card. Some people who are familiar with tarot like to think that this is one of the easiest cards to read because justice is justice, right? Fairness is fairness. We would assume what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. But one of the reasons why I'm talking about this is because I want to talk to you about the difference between human law and what I am receiving as divine law. divine law, the law of spirit, the law of the divine will, the law of the creator, what have you. I am supposed to bring this up to you, and I am supposed to ask you a question that will hopefully get you to think. Because humans, I'm not sure if you've noticed, they're funny creatures. And I think we do our best in a lot of different ways, but we also have major failings. We have some major failings. Let's talk about justice and the difference between human law and divine law. So here's my question for you. I'm going to present a situation to you, and then I'll ask you a question about it. I want you to imagine a single mom. I want you to imagine a mother who has three children, and this mom has no husband. This mom has no opportunity for work. This mom has no family. This mom lives in a place in the world where there's absolutely no support networks to help her. This mom has nobody in the world to help her with her kids, no job, no organizations, no husband, no wife, no family, nobody to help her. And this mom has three hungry children. This mom walks into a store and steals a loaf of bread to feed her kids. My question to you is, did that mom do something wrong? That's a question that I think a lot of people will sit with. So Brandy says no. A lot of people are waving their heads no. I have asked this question of people, and every once in a while, I'll have somebody say, yes, she did do something wrong. Now, this is a pickle because I think this talks about, ethics and values and morals, and there's ethics classes in colleges. I never took them, but that question gives me insight into how humans, as smart as our smartest people could ever be, are really not that smart. We do our best, but collectively, I think we're all like a bunch of bumbling teenagers, and I think that's why we're suffering collectively. Now, I want you to think about something because when you make your way through the world, when you are part of America or Canada or Mexico or Europe or any of these other countries, and you live in a land of laws, those laws are human laws. Really, very little, if anything, that is divinely inspired through those laws. But I think if you consider yourself a spiritual person and you are on this session, I'd imagine that you are, I'd have you sit with how the laws that you hold yourself standard to, how you hold your own rules, your own guidelines to get through life, how not only the laws you exist in your town, in your state, in your country, even the world are human laws, but the laws that you carry yourself through the world with are also human laws, not divine laws, but human laws. For instance, any of the ways that you find yourself being unfair to yourself. Think about your regrets, your shames, your guilts, the way you would beat yourself up over the things you did or did not do over the course of your life. You are absolutely looking at those pains and those shames through a human filter, not a divine filter. And I am a firm believer that we all have access to a piece of divinity within us. And while we can do very little to control the laws around us, that we hold ourselves standard to, what have you, we can do a lot to adjust the laws by which we live every single day. Now, I am supposed to talk to you about this, and I am supposed to talk to you about the difference between divine law and human law. So that would get you thinking about what kind of world you live in and what kind of laws you have for yourself. But I'm also supposed to tie that into the idea of achievement. Now, episode 30, nice milestone, nice marker. It's an episode of achievement, the 30th episode. That's a big deal for me. But what's bigger, I think, in my own way, is that if I've ever been able to leave behind a a connection to spirit, a way that we can think about our lives and our past. When people start to take a look at their lives and operate from a place of love instead of self hatred, I think that is a bigger achievement than 30 episodes that I've recorded. Now, that doesn't mean our achievements in our own personal lives aren't worthwhile. Uh, I am pretty awful at banging my own drum. So over the course of the year, I have published a book. Like, these are the other things I'm supposed to do here. I'm supposed to show you my book I've published and the 2 decks of cards that I put out this year. That's great. In my life, I love to produce those things. I love to be creative. But I think about divine law and I think about the idea of divine achievement. And sure, writing a book and publishing cards, that is a pretty big deal for a lot of us. But the bigger deal for me is if those cards, those books end up in people's hands and it changes their world. I want to talk to you about perhaps the achievements that you hold dear. Well, maybe you're seeing them from a human perspective and not necessarily a spiritual or divine perspective. Where that brings us is this. I think a lot of people who work in hospice care, a lot of people who have dealt with people at the end of life, they will hear things from people who are on the edge of death about how they wish they had done things differently, about how they wish they had spent more time with their loved ones, about how they wish they hadn't worked so much or took too many of these really menial things too seriously. And I think every time that I sit with spirit and every time that I get a chance to connect to people and spirit, I think it's an opportunity to get people to look at their lives for the precious gift that it is. Look at the people in their family for the precious gifts that they are, so you can make the most of your life. Because I will tell you again, we live in a very, very hard world to live in. We are all set up to fail by capitalism and by religion and by politics from the very beginning. And from my experience, I have seen thousands and thousands and thousands of spirits go to the world of death, go to the world of spirit, and regret the life that they lived. For instance, have you spent any time on social media in the past, I don't know, 10 or 20 years? If you've spent any time on social media, you're going to come across people who have been bamboozled by the hate machine. Been bamboozled by the hate machine. They will have lost their lives to what they feel is righteous indignation or anger, absolutely. But how many people who have lost themselves to pounding a drum on social media die and eventually look back on their life and go, well, maybe I should have emailed my state representative. Maybe I should have known the name of the person who was my select board member. Maybe I should know or have spent more time with my family members instead of alienating them through being manipulated by propaganda. I think that taking that spiritual or divine look at our own lives and what's really important, and even imagining that we'll die tomorrow, I think is a really effective way to make the most of our life in the here and now. And I hope that's what you can take away today. And we are supposed to talk about accomplishments. Now, what I do here is not necessarily easy, and I'm going to ask the first person that comes through to be very, very honest with themselves and with you. I need you, the person here on the Zoom call, to be very honest with yourself and to be very honest with uh to be very honest with their own feelings, because I am going to present to you a situation where you're going to have to own up to something. And as much as on the surface it might not sound like a good thing, this is necessarily a good thing. This is necessarily a good thing. So let me okay. I want to talk to you about a grandmother that's coming through, that's looking at you right now in life. I am speaking to somebody who has not had children. I am speaking to somebody right now in here in this session right now. You are alive, you're watching me talk right now, and you have not had children in this life. You have decided not to have children. It's just a thing that you did not want to do. And this is where it might be hard for you to talk about this. You might not actually like kids. This might be hard for you to admit that you might not actually like kids. So this is somebody who, watch this. This grandmother that I've got, okay, I want to paint the picture to who she is. So this, maybe you can see if this is your grandmother. Um, okay, so she feels rather small, skinny of frame. She wasn't a bigger woman. She would have been smaller. She feels like she would have run the roads. How do I say this? Um, she would have smoked. She might have drank and like went to the bars. And here's the funny thing about this. She's looking at you because what she's talking about is how she most certainly wasn't a typical mother. I don't think she wanted to be a mother. I'm not even sure she was meant to be a mother, but she's your grandmother. She became a mother. And now she's looking at you, not a mother, and wants to talk to you about it. So talk to me here. Who does not have kids? Who might not even not like kids? Okay. So Kim, wave your hand for me again. Okay, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. Okay. So I want to talk to you, Kim, about not liking children. That's okay.
I
And a
I
grandma.
like them. I just don't want them. I don't want to change diapers. I love my step grandchildren. They're just not my,
So you didn't have kids yourself.
nope.
Okay. Did you have a grandmother who should not have been a mother?
Yes, and she was only ran the road smoking, drinking in her younger years. Like I think before she actually, so that was like grandma before she got married. So she was kind of typical stereotype. So I'm not sure you're talking about me. I'm not sure this is a fit because grandma before she got married was like on the bicycle, on the motorbike, smoking. It was the 20s, 30s. She was a hellcat, and she settled down.
So we're gonna say that this is for you, okay? So
Yeah.
so I'm gonna get connected here for you, and here's why. Okay, so you didn't have any biological children of your own,
Nope.
correct? Okay. And see why this would be, and this is an interesting thing that I'm getting prompted to talk about. You know how like a lot of women are held to the standards of like, oh, you should be a mom. When are you going to have kids? Yada, yada, yada. There's so much pressure around womanhood being equated directly to motherhood. Okay. So you have this grandmother who's coming through. Um, oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to thank you for something. All right. She's thanking you for not being a broodmare. That's a rough term. Okay. Like, thank you. Now, this isn't to throw shade on women who have had kids, okay? If you love kids and you have kids and yada, 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 that's great. You obviously have achievements in your life. But I'm trying to talk to a woman who would have had to walk the path of not having kids, perhaps not liked kids in her own way, not wanting to change the diapers, yada, yada, yada. And then this grandmother who when we even hear the word grandmother, we think of warm, fuzzy, baked pies, yada, yada, yada. We don't think of the running the roads and the drinking and the smoking and the hellcat. And that was a great way to put it. So she's with you, Kim, and here's what she needs me to talk about. Okay. She needs me to talk about the achievements in your life that have nothing to do with biological children. She wants you to pound the drum a little bit. She wants you to boast about yourself. Tell us here what your achievements are that really don't have anything to do with motherhood.
Right now?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I do like art therapy at a medical center at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center, and I teach chair yoga and yoga for the pelvic floor and help women with pelvic floor dysfunction. And coming from a woman who never had children, I was mystified, like, why do I have pelvic floor dysfunction? I was pissed, and so did my yoga teacher training, and things started making sense. And now that's one of my prime sources of income is teaching women with pelvic floor dysfunction. And most of them are women, but some of them are not. Um, yeah. And I'm a hell of a grandma to a couple of kiddos. So, but my grandma,
I
Grandma
love that.
Gladys, was not warm and fuzzy.
Right. So here's the other thing. Not having kids has apparently afforded you luxuries in this world. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's education, I don't know if it's travel, I don't know if what it is, but any of those things where and I'm not talking to the people who want to be moms. I'm not talking to the people that are having fulfillment as being moms because I don't want to paint this in a bad light. I just want to talk about why motherhood is not necessarily for everybody. Just because you have a womb doesn't mean you have to use it. You know what I mean? Like it's not one of those things that is a requirement of being a woman in this world. And I think it's important for you to know too, and this is how I define achievement. How are the ways that we interact with people and intersect with people that will make a difference in 100 years? So let me give you a for instance with that. When a person does have children and a person strives to instill values in those kids, hard work ethic, values, morals, ethics, all of that, and that child does come to emulate them, that child will then perhaps have children who have children, and those values and morals and ethics, they ripple out. And oftentimes, when we die, we see the ripple of our achievements ripple out over the course of 100, 200 years. I'm supposed to talk to you about how your achievements are rippling out and how when you pass away, you'll see those achievements ripple out over the course of many, many decades. Is it the art therapy?
I don't know because I'm considering leaving it, but I still will teach art, but probably not at the medical center. I think it might be the I'm developing a chair yoga teacher training, and my vision is to bring chair yoga into assisted livings and nursing homes at sort of a higher level to teach activities directors. So not necessarily like full-blown yoga teachers, like going to yoga teacher training school, but activities directors who are making, $10 an hour, like struggling like to teach them how to teach chair yoga for the residents of assisted livings and nursing homes. So I think that's kind of the higher calling that feels really powerful to me.
If you feel called in that way, Kim, I'd encourage you, of course, to run in
Yeah,
that direction. I I think I think even through that, it's important to look at that path as I guess the word that's coming to mind is ripples. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like how do
definitely.
you send ripples out into how do you send ripples out into people's lives so then their earthly life is better, their
Yeah,
afterlife is better, what have you? It's important to remember that. Now, as I'm talking to you about uh, about your life with your hellcat grandmother, she's asking me to have you look back over the course of your life and try to look at how you've lived your life in a way that has sent those positive ripples out. Now, here's an interesting number. 36. Why is she putting the number 36 in my head? Can you look back over the course of your life and take a look at where you were when you were 36?
36. I was here in New Hampshire. I was dating. I think I was in my rampant short-term recreational relationship dating phase. Um, ladies, if this shoe doesn't fit, we must have quit. And I think Graham, in her Hellcat days would have celebrated that. Like as grandma, she was kind of prim and proper. She knew silverware on the which side was the shrimp fork. Um, but I think Graham would have celebrated that little sexual liberation. And that was 36-ish. So I got married when I was 40. So 36 would have been, and 36, I may have been working at the nursing home.
So a couple of things there. The nursing home, whatever efforts you would have put in, to bring peace and comfort to people
Hmm.
at any stage of their life is send ripples out, obviously. But the next one is I want you to imagine now. I want you to. I really want us, everybody here, to imagine our grandmothers, because I talk to a lot of people, and I get people. I talk to women who are completely infected by the patriarchy. Have to have a husband, have to have a home, have to like take care of the laundry, have to do all of that, have to do all of that. And I've talked to countless people who are convinced they have to stay in unhealthy relationships just to make the world work. And one of the things that Spirit likes to say is, hey, it's 2025, it's not 1865. It's 2025, not 1865. You can have a business, you can have a girlfriend, you can have a real estate license, you can do whatever you want. Our grandmothers, perhaps even some of our mothers, had to have husbands. Okay. So this grandmother of yours watching you, how did you put it? Try on different shoes. Um,
Short-term recreational relationships.
yes. Okay. For somebody to have that, I mean, even look at the double standards that men and women have, right? How 2025 women who have a lot of partners aren't really looked at positively, where the man is the stud. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been that double standard. It might be loosening up a little bit, but perhaps what you have to remember is that not only are your accomplishments as a caregiver and as a sexually liberated woman going to ripple out over the course of hundreds of years, but imagine what your soul will go through when you look back on your earthly life and go, I didn't have to be chained down. I chose to find a partner, but I didn't have to be. And I think that that is something that we all have to look at, not getting bamboozled by human law. I mean, I hate to get on the soapbox about the goddamn patriarchy, but women couldn't have a credit card until the 80s, right? Without a dad or a husband. We're not too far from the dark ages. And women nowadays are getting arrested for having miscarriages in the United States. Like, where the hell are we going? So, with that being said, um, Graham has one last message for you. How about, this is interesting. Hold on, because she's saying that you need to have she's saying you need another mountain to climb, another project to call yours. So while you're talking about like having your own business, absolutely, that's great. She's showing me like what looks like a framed certificate, and it's like time for another certificate on the wall. I think she wants you to go back to class or take classes or school certificate. If you're going to start your own business, maybe you need to think of like a business program or maybe yoga teaching program or something. She's talking about you needing to climb a mountain. Okay, prove something to yourself.
I wonder going to get my master's. I've been thinking about going to get my master's. So I have a couple certifications that are cooking right now that I'm almost done with. So I wonder, I've thought about going and getting my master's.
Yeah. The
But
frame, the
mm,
certificate, the diploma, if you will, things like that. There's something like your mind needs something to chew on. You need something to build, to create,
mhm.
and look at what we just talked about. If we're in 2025 and you're a woman who's like, oh, I'm thinking about going and getting my master's. Imagine the women 100 years ago
Mm,
who would have died for the chance to be able to go to
yeah,
college. And now we have a woman who's like, well, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it. I mean, what a privilege it is to be alive in that time, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Here we go. Thank you, Kim, for all of that. I'm shifting on to the next one. Shifting on to the next one. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So the symbol that I'm getting for the person that's here is what I oftentimes associate with like a librarian or a library. I'm seeing just like a balcony of books. This person's coming through. I think this person helped people learn to read because they're talking about their achievements. Teacher librarian, this is somebody in spirit who was a teacher librarian, and they helped people learn how to read. Your connection to them, this is interesting, would be a macaroni and cheese recipe. A macaroni and cheese recipe. I want to talk to somebody here who's got like a relative in spirit who would have helped people read. I believe that this person left. I'm looking at the most beautiful, delicious, like mac and cheese. And this is interesting because there's a little bit of a message here about a kick in the pants for you. You're not like you have the gift of feeding people home cooked meals, but there's this message of not and talking about like getting family together. So I want to talk here. Anybody here? Let's start with the librarian, the teacher. I'm seeing young children, little kids, like small kids, third grade, fourth grade, maybe. This person would have helped people learn to read. Would have been like their life duty, their life thing that they did. Right. This is where we get the awkward silence. I don't see anybody's hands. I don't see anybody unmuting themselves, but oh, hold on. Hi, Brenda.
Yes. Okay, I found it. I'm on my phone, which is unusual. So my grandmother-in-law was a school teacher.
Did she was she a reading teacher? Was she did she
Um,
teach people how to read?
she probably taught my kids how to read.
Yeah,
I know she was,
do you remember her having a lot of books? I just keep seeing like shelves and shelves of books. That's my symbol usually for like library, librarian, sometimes teacher.
she had some books. She was more of like, she had a calendar and she would, every day she would have all the information of the day on the calendar. She had post-it notes all over the place. She had like a little school in the house, but
Yeah, hold on one second for me.
not
Hold on one second. Don't give me any more about her, okay? Don't give me any more about
okay.
her. Okay. Does she have a macaroni and cheese recipe? Did she leave it?
Oh, it wasn't a macaroni and cheese recipe that she had. She used to make American chop suey with tomato soup, and I had never had it like that before, and I thought it was awesome. And
Okay, so it was like
I
a
would tend to do that.
like okay, so hold on one second because like that's made with macaroni noodles, right? Chop suey,
Yeah,
American chop suey, American. Okay, so
yeah.
whoever this is for, and hear me out, Brenda, whoever this is for, she kind of upset. She's upset, and here's why. And this might be for you, this might not be for you, but that recipe isn't being made. Like it's not being made. It's almost like what she's watching, it's almost like everybody that she's left behind on earth has completely forgotten about the important things. You'd have to know her family. I'm not sure if you're still with her son. You'd have to know her
No,
family. But
actually,
this is
she was my ex-husband's grandmother. My ex-husband has passed away, but his mother is still here, and she's got bad dementia. And I'm trying to help my children deal with her. I don't know if this would be her mother. I don't know what to think.
it's interesting and stay with me here because like sometimes this gets people talking in their head and like okay, so Sally's going like this. Okay, hold on one second because when Brenda, when you say American chop suey, it throws me because this is supposed to be like buttery and noodly and buttery and rich, not tomato
Okay.
saucy. Okay,
Yep.
so I'm gonna ask Sally to unmute.
Hi.
Hello.
My friend is was not a teacher, but she was an assistant for special needs students. So she wouldn't have taught them how to read. She would have read tests for them. She touched a lot of lives. When she passed, it was amazing how many, I mean, children and their children that she had touched. She was an awesome cook. She was famous for macaroni and cheese.
It was okay. So can I ask you, do you know her family that's here?
Yes.
Okay. So the macaroni and cheese, and this is where it gets like, I don't want to scold people when spirit comes through, but if spirit's watching something that's making them upset, of course they have to come through with that. All right. I can I ask you, were these kids younger?
They would have all been around 11 and 12.
Sure, that's young enough to fit this. That's young enough to fit this. Okay. Buttery, creamy macaroni and cheese, famous for her macaroni and cheese. Her family, if this is for you, her family has completely forgotten everything that was important about coming together for dinner, making meals, everything. They've all forgotten it.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
when she passed, that it changed everything.
They all got what?
It when she passed, it just changed everything. I mean, yeah.
Sure.
And I would understand her being upset because she was a hell of a cook. And she and I cooked a lot together for our
Okay.
families.
Can I ask you, does she have a son?
She does.
He does?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that son to, I'm just glad that he's not here, and there's a small chance that he'd ever see this, but would you know that son to be greedy,
He's
money
been,
driven, money hungry, money driven,
yes,
after money, 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 money. That's it. That's all he wants.
that's all he wants.
Yep, money. That's it. So I don't know what happened to our culture when we shifted away from having Sunday dinner, getting together with people, laughing, loving around kitchen tables and all of that. Seriously, this is a plea to everybody here. If you have family, if you have friends, get them together and have lunch, dinner, game night, what have you. Go out to bowl, go do something, because those are the things when we intersect with other people's lives, we ripple into them, we make a difference into them. But what happens is when, oh, this is important, when we lose these traditions and the people we love pass on, they watch us either fall apart by our own volition or fall apart because we weren't putting enough effort into staying together. Sally, I'd ask if, why would she show me painted fingernails all of a sudden? Did she paint her fingernails?
Oh my God. She got a manicure every week or two, and she always went as wild as she could. And
Okay,
she
okay.
wasn't
So
that type of person, except for her fingernails.
okay, so that's one of those things that she would show me to demonstrate that this is who this is for you. If you have contact with that family, if you
Yes.
have contact at all with that family, be her advocate, be her surrogate, get them together, cook her macaroni and cheese. Like, she's pissed. She's just pissed. Like she's watching her family fall apart and forget the important things.
Yeah.
Forget. It's like I want to test her family and ask them, how long has it been since you actually said hello and good morning to one another? You know what I mean? Like just a hello text, hello anything. So there's something when our people pass, when our people pass, the traditions associated with them shouldn't, the love that they carry, that's not passing. We can't, because even if their physical selves fades from this world, their memory doesn't. And the memories that we had and the things that we built with them don't fade. And for some reason, and I don't know if it's just because collectively we don't understand how to grieve, we somehow just think that they're dead, gone forever, and we don't live in their memory. We live outside of their memory, and that is harmful for everybody. Can I ask you, why is she, Sally, why would she point at her hair and say thank you to you? Where'd you go? Thank you. Did you do anything for her hair? Did you help her hair? Why is she looking at her hair and then looking at you and going thank you?
Well, her husband gave me her favorite G hat. I don't know.
Did you explain to somebody who doesn't know what that is, what that is?
She and I both have Jeeps, and she was a fanatic, and she had hats with Jeeps on them, pajamas
Oh,
with
Jeep hat. Jeep hat. I heard
yes.
that. Okay, Jeep hat. Okay, okay, okay.
I mean, I've got a headband that says Jeep for my hair. I mean,
Okay, so maybe that's it, but she didn't go through chemo, did she?
Um, she was very ill. No chemo, but very, very ill. And suddenly, she ended up on life support within a few days.
You didn't take care of her hair. You didn't do anything to her hair for her,
Not,
to
no,
her hair.
it was a life flight situation. I mean, I got to her and all the nurses were telling her how beautiful her fingernails were. I mean, um, but I didn't do anything with her hair. Somebody did because she looked nice when I got there before um, they took her off life support.
So maybe it's somebody in the family that should be thanked for the hair. You know, maybe looking important at that time was thankful. Maybe you're doing something with your hair that she's thankful about. Maybe she's just happy that you've done your hair. She won't let it go. She just going like,
Well, I probably would have made her angry, am making her angry. When my husband passed away, I don't know why, I just kept cutting my hair off shorter and shorter and shorter. And I told my hairdresser, don't let me come in and tell you I want Sinead O'Connor, don't shave me. And I've stopped doing that because she probably would have been put out with me that that's how I was dealing with my grief, and why I do not know. But I mean, I always thought it was some form of self-harm.
there's a lot of we could peel that apart and try to figure that out. But as you were talking about doing your hair and like letting it grow and you've stopped, the intensity of that thank you subsided. Like when you were talking about the hat and stuff, she kept pushing it at me, but like you started to talk about like your hair, and so the message kind of eased away, which means that that's what she was talking about. She wants to thank you for that. Thank you for like taking care of your hair, or
Yeah.
in your own way finding a way to keep going. Okay. um Sally, are you a people watcher?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Did you ever sit in a mall with her and watch people?
Actually, not a
Hold
lot.
on, hold on, hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second. She wants this. She's showing me a guy's like tight rear end. Okay. And she's like looking at it with you and how you guys used to watch those things.
Yeah, we were people watchers together. We would judge people. We would, oh my God, people. And we definitely liked the men's butts.
Yeah. No, no, that's what
Bonded
she's
together.
showing. That's what she's showing. So
Yeah, she
um
was a mess.
it's interesting. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. She wants she's coming through with a message about your transition, about you passing on into the world of spirit. She wants to say to you that it's gonna happen. This is always, I don't know. Sometimes I guess they have to speak in riddles, but this is sooner than you'd want it to happen, way later than you'd want it to happen. like you know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen sooner than you want it to and way longer than you want it to, sort of thing. So from her perspective, it's only a matter of time before you're reunited with all of them. And it's interesting too because all of a sudden I'm in a smoke-filled room, like cigarette smoke everywhere. Like cigarette smoke everywhere. Like it's hard for me to breathe. So there must have been a time in your life where people were smoking indoors, things like that, shooting the shit with people, reunited in that way. So it's just a matter of time. Yeah, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep excelling quite nicely at everything that you've ever wanted to be. She just wants you to keep excelling until the moment you can't excel on Earth anymore, and then you make your way over there. Okay. Um, Also, she is your confidant in your darkest moments. So when you have a dark moment, speak to her and be receptive to any sort of feelings or insights that come through in that moment. She does want not only to be there for you, but she is looking at this from also a practical way. If you could get people to come together for dinner or lunch or mac and cheese, something like that, that would be one of the greatest gifts that you could give her. Okay. Her mac and cheese. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greasy, like oily, cheesy, like just
Oh, yeah.
gooey. Okay.
Totally unhealthy.
Yes, totally unhealthy. All right, all right. So I mean, just and in fact, it's interesting too, Sally, sooner than later. Don't wait for like, don't wait for this. Like if this is something that you can start talking to people about tomorrow, there's something about getting them together sooner than later because um yeah, people need their family and they don't have it right now. So much love to you. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna bring forth the next person. Here we are. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, here we go. The man comes forth showing me him wearing a baseball cap. Why? Okay, so he's showing me, follow me on this, follow me on this. He's showing me a jar of pickles in the refrigerator. Like pickles were important. He might have opened up the pickle jar for you. He's talking about how this guy must have been a pickle fanatic because he's talking about how if there was just one pickle in the jar, it was like it was danger time. It was like you want you don't want to see one single pickle in the jar. This is like I am like it's almost like I'm drinking pickle juice, like pickled vinegar, dill, everything is very, very strong. And it's strange because it feels like it's a tradition that you might have or somebody in the family might have. Like you might keep a jar of pickles in the fridge for dad. You might like there might be pickles in the fridge, but he's talking about like we can't get down to one pickle. What is the pickle thing? Help me with this. Who's got a pickle person? Like fanatic about pickles in the fridge. I think you might be fanatic too about pickles. It's feeling like it almost may skip a generation. This is an interesting thing. Like it's skipping a generation. Um, did anybody have like a trucker hat, trucker dad who liked pickles? Like this guy is like, there has to be pickles in the fridge. Has to be pickles in the fridge.
Hi, it might be my father.
This is Dama.
Who is this?
Dama, I'm with Nicole.
Hi, Dana. All right.
Dama,
Hi.
Damia.
Damia. Dama?
Yes.
Okay, Dama. All right, perfect. I love it. All right, all right, all right. All right. So what is this about like no pick like do not go without pickles in the fridge. Gotta have pickles in the fridge.
We canned pickles as a family.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean we always had all different types of pickles. And he loved pickles. He loved to eat them with or loved to drink the juice and eat it with biscuits.
Yeah, that's weird. That's strange. You know, I've only heard of pregnant women eating like drinking pickle juice. So that's a new one for me. Okay. Can I ask you, did he wear it? Was he a trucker? Did he wear a trucker hat?
Yeah, he worked for the state for a paving company and he drove the distributor truck and yeah, he wore a ball cap every day.
Okay. So this is obviously for you. Okay. Pickle mania, like pickle mania, baseball cap trucker. Okay, I don't think anybody's putting those pieces together. Okay. So Dava, hold on. Um, tell me right now in your refrigerator, are there pickles?
Yes.
Like there are. Okay. There had best always be pickles. Like this is the weird thing. Like this is strange. I know that what I do by nature is kind of peculiar, but this guy's just like it's almost like a good luck thing. It's weird. It's almost like a good luck thing. You can never go without pickles. You always got to have pickles in the fridge. You see one pickle in the fridge, you better be getting another jar. There better always be pickles.
I always have pickles.
So said, oh my God, it's Dama.
You always have pickles. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is really good. This is really good. All right. So I got to ask you a funny question, Dama. So oh man, okay. I wish we could get into a time in our culture in our lives where this wouldn't be an awkward question, but I have to ask it to you. How old are you?
I'm 46.
46?
Yes.
Okay, because you're about this big on my screen and you look about 12 to me. Okay. So all right, here we are. All right. So Dama,
How do we get big?
tell like tell me,
I don't know how to make you
he's
big.
saying that you're too young for your bone stuff. You got arthritis, you got like fibromyalgia, you got bone stuff.
Not that I know of. I mean, I've had to go to chiropractor and get some
Like
stuff done
literally
on my
showing me
back.
your lower back, like your lower
Yeah,
back bone stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Too young for you're too young for it. Um, what are you doing that's aging you? He's talking about you doing something that's aging you. Like you're getting you're aging too fast. Is this stress?
Could be, yes.
Well, he's saying it's intentional. It's not like something that you can like you're intentionally going through it. So if you're intentionally like
Well, I mean, I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I work with the highest risk of homeless and severe and persistent mental illness, and kids aging out of foster care, and
so the stress is intentional. Okay, hold on. The stress is intentional because you're intentionally doing it. It doesn't mean you should stop. It just means you're intentionally doing something that's causing you stress, which I love being pulled to you because if you've been listening to me, we're talking about doing the things that will ripple out for hundreds of years,
yeah.
right? Like affecting people's lives and helping them and helping their generations and all that. Okay. So obviously, we're going to take you and the noble work that you do and put it on top of that. But if you're intentionally doing something that's causing you stress, which might be such a level of stress that it's increasing your inflammation or aging you prematurely, what you have to do is you have to do something in compensation. The interesting thing is, as soon as I said that, I started to taste oranges, which is spirit's sign of vitamin C. You might want to increase your vitamin C intake just to help mitigate the effects of stress on your body. I'm hearing ding, ding, ding. That's it. That's it. Like, consider that. Unfortunately, you won't get vitamin C out of pickle juice, but you'll get a lot of other good things. Okay, try
Yeah.
that for me. I think it's potassium in pickle juice. You might want to look into that. Potassium, there might be potassium in pickle juice. I mean, it's super acidic, which is, hard to drink, but this guy was all about it. It's interesting. Before you told me, um, before you told me about the mental health stuff, there was this message of I'm proud of what you made of yourself, which has to do with that. But also, can I ask you, you have a sister?
I do.
Yeah. You this is gonna sound a little mysterious. You might want to check in with that sister and see what she's getting up to.
Okay.
Almost like
Sorry, what
somebody
kind?
needs to like take a look at her. Do you know what I mean? Like see what she's up to, see if she's getting into trouble, see if she's doing anything unhealthy, you know, just reach out to her and be like, hey, how you doing? What's going on in your life? All of that stuff. Um, I think you need a new mattress. He's talking about a shoulder injury. I think you need a new mattress. I think like you got a bum shoulder
Is
because
that
your
true?
mattress isn't great, right?
I do need a new mattress. Yeah, it's kind of broke.
Yeah. Um, it's hurting your shoulder. Are you a side sleeper?
I am a side sleeper.
Okay. Be careful of that shoulder that you dominantly lay on. All right. Um, okay, hold on one second.
Rose is telling Amy
You're
everything.
particularly
Amy was
good at
like,
your
I
job,
just
aren't
said
you?
that.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
You're particularly good at your job, aren't you? Can you objectively say you're particularly good at your job?
I mean, that's what people say. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, no. So what he's telling me is that when you're working with your people, you're doing what I'm doing. You're talking to their spirits. You don't know it, but their spirits are coming through you. You have a little bit of mediumship. It's above average. He's saying that their spirits are coming through, informing the way you approach them, the way you talk to them, the things that you might mention, the things that you bring up. He's telling me that spirit's working through you.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's true. I usually say a prayer when I'm going into a really difficult situation and just say, just use me however you need to use me to be able to help this person. And uh Yeah, I mean, sometimes I say things and I don't even know where they come from.
And that's the way spirit will speak through us. As long as you're trusting that, and as long as you know that it's coming through from a loving place. Uh, Damien, were you here when I was talking about the difference between human law and divine law?
Yes.
Okay, you can take that and you can apply that to your work, can't you?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Daily. Mhm.
The interesting part about that is you cannot let the failings of human structural systems dissuade you from working on behalf of divine law.
Mhm.
What a huge message. And I hope that hospital administrators, nurses, mental health professionals, teachers, people that are working in administrative units, places, societies, organizations, schools, hospitals, I think they can all relate that, yeah, the laws made by humans are broken. The rules, the stipulations, all of that are very broken. And I think that's probably the hardest part of people working in those systems is noticing how a lot of times those things seem to be backwards.
Mhm.
Okay. You got to kind of, this is interesting for me to say this to you. Continue your work for divinity, continue your work for spirit while working within the confines of human structure. Was that clear or was that too wordy?
No, I think that's clear.
Okay, I hope so. Because sometimes I just run my goddamn mouth. It's way too wordy. All right, all right, all right. Do your best to work on behalf of divine light and love while working within the confines of human structure, human created structure, because it's always going to be lacking. It's always going to be lacking. All right.
Mhm.
It is second nature to you to do this, but I want to thank you for being there for my friend Nicole. And that's not only a message from Josh, but from your dad. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. All right.
We were talking
Here we
about your
go.
dad.
Next one. All right. And also make sure, Damien, make sure that you his presence here, the truck driver, pickle lover, the presence here should show you that he's with you forever. So lean into him and talk to him. Okay. He's not going to stay with me. He's going to stay with you. So just make sure that you keep that conversation up with him. All right. Much love to you. Keep up the good work.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being here. All right. Next, off to the next one. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm feeling what feels like me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm feeling you here on the Zoom call might have been a tomboy when you were younger. You might have been like the best son your dad ever had. Um okay, so this is he's showing me what looks like a rocking horse, but it might be some other type of horse, like a hobby horse or a horse figurine. But I just kind of see the rocking horse little kids would rock on. Um, I have to wonder, okay, I have to wonder if you have it in your home. I have to wonder if you had one as a kid that maybe your dad made or worked on and you had it in your home. Um, this man really wants to talk to his daughter. Like somebody has something in their home, like a horse, I think, that dad made. You would have had it. You would have been connected to him. Anybody here have a hobby horse, rocking horse made by dad? I'm smelling sawdust. Like I think he made it or he worked on it. Um, and he's got a whole bunch of messages for you, but I got to land you first here. I got to bridge the connection between him and you here. Okay. Um, don't get caught up on having the rocking horse still. You might have had a rocking horse as a kid. Your dad might have made you something that you still have now. Tomboy, daddy's little girl, daddy's princess, side by side. You might even be frustrated that you were born a woman and you'd much rather been a man, just in terms of like business and work and all of that. Who here has something like that? I think you deal with numbers. He's watching you be frustrated every day with like your eyes going crossed, maybe on a computer screen, numbers. I don't know if you're like an accountant or somebody that's just dealing with numbers on a screen. You might be getting eyewear. Don't get caught up on dad. This could be a grandfather that was like a dad figure that raised you and you were very close to him. He keeps wanting to say, I want to talk to my special little girl. Like, I want to talk to my special little girl. I want to talk to my special little girl. He wants you to continue on with the. This is interesting. It's like he's encouraging you to do wood shop or work in the shop or do something crafty. There's a connection that you have with this man that you're missing. I think you want to quit your job. I think you're frustrated at what you're doing. I think you want to do something different. He's talking about watching you get like angry with your cross-eyed, almost like um he's like if you chewed on a pencil, you'd snap it in a half. Um and he's circling me back to the hobby horse, the rocking horse. We've got to go with this. I am literally feeling myself on a rocking horse right now. He's showing me you on a rocking horse. He's giving me the smell of mechanic grease, which would mean that he either worked in a factory or on the cars. There's mechanic grease. I'm smelling grease. It's like metal grease. Um, you have something he made. He's talking about you having something he made with his hands. Here's the awkward silence. Okay. I'm hoping that I don't get an email from somebody who didn't want to speak up about this because this guy. No.
Josh,
Hi, Barbara.
do, I don't know. Some of it sounds like my dad, but
Sure.
my dad, um, before his stroke, he built furniture and things like that. And I still have a bookshelf that he had made. Um, but I was his only daughter. He had four boys and then me. But I spent every free minute watching him work in the wood shop and things like that. So I don't know if that's it. Just since no one was
So Barbara,
answering, I just thought maybe.
well, no, thank you for that because that fits a lot of those pieces. You know what I mean? The workshop, the only daughter, daddy's special girl. He made something that you have now. Talk to me about what the hobby horse is or the rocking horse. Why is that such a big deal?
That I honestly don't get that. I don't get that one.
Okay, you might either have a case of like psychic amnesia where like this happens to people when I'm talking about something from their
Yeah, no,
childhood and
no,
they'll be like,
I understand.
I'll
Yeah, but I
yeah.
just honestly don't
Did you
recall.
guys have
And
horses? Did you have anything? Is he trying to show me horses? Hi, Sally. Hold
no.
on one second for me. Oh, thank you.
Okay, I'm just drawing a blank on that one.
Okay. Um, Kathy says, my father-in-law made my kids rocking horses, and I have two of them here in my house. Okay.
Okay,
Hold
okay.
on one second. Yeah, hold on one second. Hold on one second, though, Barbara, because now that I am now that I'm talking to you, I got some messages for you. Okay. So like I'm like looking at you and I want to ask you something. Okay. Can I ask you, and this is like once I'm like looking at you and um I might have to go to Kathy or what have you, but so I'm gonna say no to Kathy because I don't think you were daddy's little girl. Do you know what I mean? Like you like his little girl. You weren't his like number one, and this would be you, Barbara. Barbara, I want to ask you, digestive problems in your stomach. Do you have like problems in your stomach with digestion?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Um, what I'm feeling, and this is like a multitude of things like a gallbladder and this and then the that and then the this and then the that, like the stomach area is just kind of loaded with problems. I have one big, very important ask of you, like a question that I have to ask you to do. Could you please just avoid diet sodas?
Oh, I don't drink soda.
Okay, good,
I,
good, good, good.
I,
Because like
no,
that stuff right
water,
there is gonna.
water. That's it.
Okay, but you're not doing like Crystal Light or anything like that, are you?
Nothing like that. I drink water and black coffee. That's it.
Okay, don't don't get bored one day and go to diet soda because
Oh
whatever's
no.
going on for your
Yeah.
digestive system, okay, whatever's going on for
Yeah.
digestion
Yeah.
is going to be compounded by diet soda. It'll make it worse. Basically, just don't live like your mom, okay?
Okay.
Like health issues that mom would have had or health things that mom
Yep.
would have had. Don't do that. Don't live like that so you don't repeat her patterns. Okay.
Okay.
Super, super important. The other things too is like I'm connected to you, and all of a sudden now the little bit of a connection that I'm going to get with your spirit is very much going to be about okay, it's going to be about, how do I say, okay, so I'm getting a bunch of things for you, like and these are all medically related. Remember, I'm not a medical provider, but I want to give you the
Mhm.
guidance and advice that I can for you. Okay, so one, I think that you would benefit greatly, and I throw this out there often. I think you'd benefit greatly from what's called a Shakti mat. Shakti, Shakti mat. It's a
Shakti.
mat
Okay.
with like points on it, and you lay on it and it does something for your back, your muscles, all of that stuff. That's an important thing. I'm getting like acupressure signals for you, so back, neck, shoulder things. I'm also getting you might be dealing with a little bit of neuropathy. Do you know about that?
Oh, I have it bad. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm
Yeah.
getting the sign for that. Okay, I'm
Okay.
getting the sign for that. I really do think that this person was for you, Barbara. I just don't know how to put the rocking horse
I
into
know.
play.
I know. I
Maybe
wish.
this is for Kathy because Kathy has a couple rocking horses from her father-in-law in her house. Maybe I'm getting like my wires crossed, but I don't think so. Maybe there's just something from your childhood, or there's one of these horses in a picture. You know, like in a few months, you could be going through a bunch of pictures and then go, oh, well, there's me on a rocking horse at 3 years old, and you wouldn't even remember it. But
Okay. Okay.
that's
Possibly.
one of
Yep.
those things that I would have you do. Okay. I'd have you like
Okay.
look through your pictures, take a walk down memory lane. I really feel like the rocking horse is for you. The message is for you. Okay. Daddy's only girl. He had a workshop. You have furniture that he made before he passed. You still
Yep.
have it.
Yep.
All of those things are for you. Why would he show me all of a sudden? He's showing me MASH, like the show MASH. Was he in Vietnam? Was he in the army?
Oh, no. Gosh, he was in World War II. He was in the Navy, but man.
Okay, so do
Mm,
you see like the MASH symbol, the army? Like he's showing me the military stuff with you. Okay. So
okay.
that's for you. He just wants you to walk on eggshells, he's telling me. Like all the health stuff, take care of it. Take care of your digestion, take care of your nerve stuff, your back stuff,
Yep.
neck, shoulder stuff, neuropathy. The neuropathy thing, something that could help with that is one of those devices that looks like a big egg whisk, goes up and down your head,
Hmm.
creates
Yep.
like the goosebumps. Super important for that. There's just a big focus on health stuff for you from him, and I don't say that to like get you nervous or worried.
Oh
um
no, I deal with everything you said. I'm already dealing with, but
okay.
it's something I have to work on all the time. And so
Yeah,
you get frustrated sometimes and you slip up and what have you. So I get it. I get the message.
so hold on one second, okay,
Mhm.
because what I'm supposed to talk about here is this is interesting. Okay. um they're bringing me back to the core of what I was talking about and why these spirits are showing up that the way they are. So I was talking about achievement, divine law versus human law, and achievement, and what really is achievement for humans when we pass away. Are my books achievements, or the people who read them and might be changed by them achievements? For you, somebody who I think is frustrated with your health stuff, you know what I mean? If you have to pay a lot of attention to it, put a lot of time and effort into it, you're not doing that because you want to. You're doing that because you have to. And if your
Right.
time and energy is going into your health in that way, you don't have time and energy to write the books or have the Sunday dinners or to do all of those other things, be the mental health professional. So here's an interesting idea about that idea of rippling, how your actions right now could be causing ripples out into the world of spirit. You obviously want your dad to rest in peace. Yes. Right.
Of course.
Obviously. I know. Right.
Mhm.
It's a given. When you're taking care of your health and you're focusing on your peace, you are giving your dad peace. So as he's watching you, as he's observing you, while you might be feeling selfish about focusing on your health, focusing on your life, focusing on your diet, focusing on what you're eating, all of that stuff, that could feel kind of selfish. And then you watch people around you, getting the master's degrees or writing the books or doing those things where you're dealing with a chronic illness or multiple chronic illnesses, as it
Yeah.
were. And
Yes.
as you're dealing with them, you can feel like, where are my achievements? Your achievement, hell, is just staying alive. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Yeah. Very much. Yeah. It's
Staying
true though.
alive, having those quiet moments of peace and tenderness with your loved ones, laughing as much as possible that you can with your loved ones. Those are important. And those are the things that, will affect those loved ones' lives, that will ripple out into their lives and into
Yeah.
their hearts.
Yes.
But you don't get caught up on this idea that, and it's interesting because we started with the woman who chose not to have kids, and how we have to look at, human law or human society would say, well, a woman is only worthy if she has kids. There's a bunch of crap that goes on around that area. I think it's important for everybody to remember your small deeds, your small tasks, the small moments of kindness and the acts of kindness that you bring to others, especially in their moment of need, is something that is important. And why am I being told, Barbara, that that's something that you excel at?
I think I kind of do. I try to, I just try to make the best of every day. I smile at people. I say hi to everybody I pass in my apartment. I can't do a lot of other things, so I do that and it makes me feel better.
The acts of kindness. I'm sure it makes everybody else feel better too. So
Hopefully. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. Okay.
My late husband taught me a saying that and I've carried it with me forever. It doesn't cost a penny to be nice to people. Doesn't cost anything to be nice to people. It,
Thank you for that.
you're
I really
welcome.
appreciate that
You're welcome.
because you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. It doesn't cost a penny to be nice to people. Okay. One of the things that I want to explain to you, Barbara, and okay, hold on one second. Barbara, okay. Haha. All right, here we are. Um, okay. So Barbara, um, here's a funny thing that's going on in my head right now. All right. So okay. I guess I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. Um, so when you enter into a group reading like this, I don't have control over who comes through.
Mhm.
Kids, husbands, anything like that in spirit. I can't control that. You have a heart of gold. I get connected to you through your father, which is an appropriate conversation to have in a group. Sometimes talking to dead husbands and children, wives, not necessarily the most appropriate thing to happen in a group setting like this. So
Mhm.
I just want to say to you that that is one of the reasons why, when Josh hears a person has a dead spouse, Josh would love to connect them as much as possible. I can't control what happens in a group setting here because we're building a
Sure.
story with all the spirits that are coming through in this way. Um, Tell me something. Why, when you mention your husband, do I hear Creedence Clearwater Revival?
I don't know because he was not into rock and roll.
He wasn't?
No, I am, but he's not.
Okay,
Or
so
wasn't.
so
Yeah.
hold on. Are you no, don't take it that he is. Okay.
Okay.
Do you listen to CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival? I mean, that's a '70s band.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm well aware. I grew up on that stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
And just the few songs that I can know off the top of my head, like Bad Moon Rising, Born on the Bayou, those are just popping through. Those are the ones that like I grew up with, my parents listening to that stuff.
Sure.
Maybe you need to listen to a little bit of rock and roll, you know what I mean? To like pump you up. And
I I actually was listening to John Fogerty unplugged today on Spotify in my car.
John Fogerty is the lead singer of
I
Creedence.
know. That's
Yes,
why I
yes,
told
yes,
you.
yes. Okay, so thank you
Yeah.
for that. All right.
So
So
so it
so
wasn't that he was into them, but that he knows I was listening, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Look at that. That's why that would pop into my head because even that little bit of a thread of him would say, "Hey, I was with you."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And in the
So
car is usually where I do my best chatting with him. As I'm driving, I talk away.
okay. Here's something that I am being prompted to do.
Okay.
Okay. So um I'm not sure if you're on my email list or have my emails or what have you. But my email address is connect@joshsimons.com. That's just how you reach me by email.
Okay.
Um, I want to give you a free 1 hour session with me.
Oh, wow. Oh,
It's not
wow.
just me who wants to give that to you.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
you're the lucky winner for our 30th episode, Barbara. Ding 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 ding. This is what you get. Okay. Um, you I was not planning on doing that, but as I'm talking to you, I'm getting pushed to
Wow.
coordinate that with you. It's going to be a
Okay.
little while because I'm like booking into November, but
Oh,
you
that's fine.
email me, we'll get you on the calendar.
Okay.
I
Your
would,
email will be on your site because I don't
it's
have anything
not,
to, it's
no, it's
all right.
just
All right. Hold on and let me,
here.
I'm going to type it in as you're, go ahead.
Yep. It's connect, CONNECT at joshsimons.com. Yeah. Just
Okay. Got Josh.
if that was on my website, I'd be getting emails from everybody.
I
Princes
see
in
what you mean. Okay.
Africa who
Okay.
wanted me to save them from money scams or what have you. I just don't leave it out there for the public. So
Okay. So it's,
that's
there's no period between your names. It's just joshsimon.com.
.com. Yep.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Thank you.
Well, getting prompted to give you that by spirit is very much an inclination that you are a woman that brings kindness to the world. And
Oh,
as much as
thank you.
possible, I want to reflect that from spirit. You know what I mean? Like I would love to give that to you because that's a ripple back to you, like actions and consequences. And you do nice things for people, some spirit's doing something nice for you. So
Thank you.
I'm not going to claim that all of my own. I'm just a willing participant in the equation. Okay. I'm
Well,
just
I
getting pushed
certainly
on it. So
appreciate it.
you're
I will be
welcome.
in touch. Thank you.
Interesting cold therapy for your jaw. Do you have TMJ?
No, the jaw's not so much the jaw. No. Mm-mm.
Anything on the side of the face, tooth?
Um,
Like what is going on here?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a tooth that could be in the near future. Some work needing to
If,
be done. I don't.
if you have something that goes bad in the jaw area in the next week or two, cold therapy ice is going to help it,
Okay.
apparently.
Okay.
Just like
Okay.
an ice pack or something like that right here.
Okay.
Okay. But then go see your medical professional. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Go see
for
your
sure.
dentist, go see your doctor, what have you. All right, all right, all right, all right. And do more to eat breakfast, please, Barbara. I'm getting scrambled eggs, which is the sign for breakfast. So if you could just consider maybe getting a little bit more protein for breakfast, going in the
Yes.
morning.
Yes. Protein. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. I
All right.
will.
Thank you for being here. And it's funny because this is so weird. That session that I gave you is supposed to be a Christmas present. Like Merry Christmas. Like they're like I think this is your husband saying Merry Christmas, like he's giving you a Christmas present. So
I wouldn't be
I don't know
surprised.
if there was something with Christmas. I don't know if we're going to connect around Christmas. I don't know, but you just email me and we'll go from there. Okay.
I will. I will.
All right. Thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I'm going to mute you and we're going to go to the next one. We're going to go to the next one. Okay. 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 Um, man. Okay. I'm looking for somebody who has dinosaurs in their home, dinosaur wallpaper or posters on the wall of a boy's room,
I have
dinosaurs on the
that
wall.
where I am. I have that. Yeah.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Um, who just said that? Wave your hand. Is that Dawn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dawn. 1 second for me. Okay, hold on. Um, are they connected to kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Yep. All right. Because I don't know if you're a full-grown woman with dinosaur posters, and if you are, that's hella cool. But um, hold on. There's something about this is interesting. Hold on. There's something about what feels like okay. She wants to tell you that you're not being haunted, but you're being haunted. Okay. So this is an interesting thing. So he comes through to me as like what looks like she's wearing like almost like black Victorian clothing. She feels European to me. Like she feels not like American, like English, not her first language if she could speak it. She feels
Oh,
interestingly like a nanny or a house staff member or something like that. It feels very nanny-esque, and here's why. It's like going around and looking in on the kids, but she's doing it in spirit. She's like looking at the kids. Now, the
well,
funny thing is that I would say this to you in a way of like, I think you're being, or like your house is haunted, or one of your houses was haunted, or there was something about hauntings.
um, I just heard one of the kids upstairs. So I don't have children myself, and I was a nanny for a family when I was in college, and their daughter grew up and had two kids by herself. And I was in the delivery room both times with the kids with her. So I'm sort of her, I don't know. It's like best friend kind of person, but like, I'm married and I live in Vermont, as you know, because I've met you. And so I am myself the nanny also, like in a sense, right? Because I'm in the house, the kids are upstairs, I'm babysitting them right now, as it turns out. They have dinosaur duvet covers that I bought for them. And there are dinosaurs next to me because one of them was playing with dinosaurs tonight. So um the haunting part, I'm not sure because I have a tendency to feel that kind of energy. Like I don't know what
So
to
hear me
say.
out on this, okay? Hear me out on this. This might actually be a conversation for your friend, okay?
Oh,
Like I would have to wonder here. Okay, I would have
oh,
to wonder if your friend has in the last two generations, parents, grandparents, somebody who came from Europe with an accent, somebody that's accent like they have an accent, somebody who's of European descent. This very much feels like a strong presence in the house who's watching over these kids, who moves from room to room to watch over the kids. She feels very Victorian, very prim, very proper,
oh,
very well dressed, coiffed hair, like very well done hair, like coiffed hair, like short hairstyle, black clothing. Almost feels like one of these like European school marms. Do you know, like I get very strong nanny vibes. I understand that you're a nanny, but this woman is
yeah.
coming through with I am watching. I am here. So maybe the conversation is for
I,
your friend. Does your
I
friend feel
kind of
like her
don't think
house is
so.
being haunted?
No, she has this like really modern house that was built rather recently and doesn't have like haunted vibes. And she's not the kind of person who would feel that like if you know what I mean. Like she's intensely pragmatic, but I feel very stirred up by what you're saying. And I
So, Dawn,
yeah.
before I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you, okay? Because I don't want you to give me anything. I'm going to interrupt you here, okay? Um, you were in the delivery room with these children. You said you're like
Yeah.
the best friend figure. So this means that you have love for these kids. Yes?
Oh, a lot. Yeah. They
Okay.
call me mama
So,
by mistake.
okay. Why this is important is this could be one of your spirits who's
I
watching
think
out
it
over the
is.
kids you love.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
Kind of like
So
my
can I
Polish
ask you,
aunt or something. Go ahead. Sorry.
yes, do you have like the woman that I just described, dressed in
Yeah.
black, coiffed hair, like prim
Yeah.
proper?
I kind of think this could be my Polish aunt, but I'm not sure. But like, I didn't meet the person, but I've been told about a person like this, and her name is Anastasia. And I really like, I don't know, it might not be true, but I have a feeling that it could be this person. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no. If you're feeling it, that's what I'm
Yeah.
feeling. Like you
Yeah.
have this non-English speaking ancestor
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
watching over these kids that I'm
Yeah.
seeing like that. Okay, like I'm just okay. Seeing with the dinosaurs, and I just keep seeing her look at these kids, like watching them. Like, and this is something that's important for you. You know, you now know that your spirits are helping out with this family. Okay, that
Yeah.
they're watching, they're taken care of. Um, but she's not like it's interesting because people from a long time ago and then people from other cultures, they can feel totally alien to me. You know, like totally like
Wait, sorry.
totally alien to me.
What are you doing, sir? Sorry, one of the children has come for a visit. I'm finishing something up, okay? You can come pee. Go right ahead, dear. Oh, you're all done? Okay. Okay, you're not in trouble. Don't worry. Oops, he was just peeing, but I was freaked out, I'll tell you that. Sorry,
Love that
everyone.
for you. I love that for you. No. I love that for you. I love that for you. Okay. So what I want to do is because when you said the name Anastasia, I got a big ding, like a big
Oh,
like positive feeling. Okay. So one of that's going to be one of your spirits watching over you. That's going to be one of your spirits watching over the people that you love. And here's the funny thing is like when she says to me, you know, you're haunted, but you're not haunted. Like it's not the house that's haunted, it's the person that's haunted. So
yeah,
like you have this spirit companion that's watching you, watching your family,
yes.
working and for some reason, and I don't know how you can confirm this or validate this, but kids are so super important to her. I don't know if she was a teacher, I don't know like
No.
what she was, but
Yeah,
she like find out what you can
yeah,
about
I
her
will.
because like these kids are super important.
Great. I will check that out.
Okay. Um oh wow, this is strange. Okay. I'm not sure how much you know about your friend's inner world or inner processes, the
Maybe not
mother
a
of the
lot.
kids.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot. Okay. So Dawn, can I ask you, have you been here from the very beginning?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I knew her when she
Okay.
was 5. Yeah. And I
Well,
know
my
children.
question here, beginning of tonight's session.
Oh, I was
Okay.
here at the beginning with the justice
Yep.
card.
So the
Yeah.
very
And
first
like,
person that I got connected to was a person who chose not to have children.
yes, I know. I thought you were gonna, I
Yes.
thought that was gonna be me. But I was like, oh, that's me. But then it wasn't. Yeah.
But nope, it was Kim. So
Yeah.
I believe that was her name, Kim. So
Yeah.
with that being said, what I'm supposed to talk about is how this your friend who did choose to have children, I think has to whatever degree some conflict about opportunities that she wasn't afforded because she was a mom.
Yeah. Possibly. I think because she's a classical musician. And so she has to turn down things sometimes because she,
Yes, so she has conflict about those
yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So you know, achievements, yes, we can talk about that. Choices, yes, we can talk about that. But you know, the very first woman who chose not to have children, and now you know she can pursue her masters and she can teach chair yoga. And the woman who did decide to have children, neither one of those is right. Neither one of those is wrong. They're just the
Right.
best for those people.
Right.
Still, in that first woman that I connected to, I could only imagine that somewhere in the back of her mind, every once in a while, it kicks up like, maybe I should have had kids. You know, did I throw my life away? Oh, you know, the patriarchy talking to her in her head. And
Right.
then the opposite, you know, I can't believe I had these kids and look at the opportunities that I can't do. I can't travel. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I think when it comes to the understanding of achievements, however we define them, I think it's important to remember that there are always sacrifices. If we have children, we're sacrificing something. If we don't have children, we're sacrificing something. If we have a career, a husband or a wife, we're sacrificing something. If we don't have those things, we're sacrificing something. I guess there's an element of sacrifice to every one of the lives that we choose to walk. Ultimately, though, it comes down to how have we interacted with others to perhaps make their world a better place? Now, this aunt in spirit for you, watching out over these kids with the dinosaurs, you're incredibly lucky to have her. She's a very powerful spirit, very powerful to watch over. Like, I think that one of the things that I think too is that it's almost like she's filling in for perhaps your friend not having a lot of spirits, not having a lot of people watching out over her. She's filling in for that. So these roles that we choose as caregivers, they're not just here in this world, they're in the next. And I think that your aunt choosing to look after kids that she never met, aren't her blood descendants, are people that you've just chosen to love. I think that does speak to divine motivation, not human motivation, but divine motivation. And I think that just brings us full circle to what motivates us as humans, what motivates us as divine beings. Perhaps we can aim for the great cosmic Venn diagram and make sure that the things that we're doing and the things that we're accomplishing are making the world a better place, but also making our world a better place. We shouldn't be martyrs to the needs of others. So, also write your book, please. Write your book.
Oh God.
Write your book. Talk about ripples for 100 years from now. You know what I mean? Like ripples, 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 ripples. You get the idea. Okay. I'm going to say it with love, Dawn, but get off your ass. Okay. I'm going to say it with love. Get off your ass. Do the thing that needs to be done. Make things happen. We're not here forever. It's not going to write itself. We're not here forever. And it's interesting because I swear this woman comes from a time where there was rulers on knuckles, because she's very much like a taskmaster. Please get on it. Please get on it. That's what she wants. All right. So here's what I want to leave with everybody. I want to leave you with a sense of pondering, because there's no quick answers about this. Pondering what divine justice and law is like versus human justice and human law. And I personally, and I don't know about you, but I'm personally going to do my damnedest to march to the beat of the drum of divine law, not human law. And I think that's important for all of us to consider. Especially in a time when human laws don't seem to be particularly fair.
Yeah.
Talking as a gay married man who's most likely going to watch his marriage be invalidated by the Supreme Court of the United States. Ding, 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 all of that. So make sure that this is a weird thing to say, but just understand that, guys, I'm not a religious person whatsoever, but everything that I am being prompted to say to you is just remember that there's really only one, we only have one judge, and it's not really human. It's love. I don't even want to say the word God, because that's not appropriate to this conversation. Love is the law. And when we hold ourselves against it and we find that we've operated in the opposite of it, I think that's what really is the worst punishment. Seeing how we pass away, look at the things that were done to us that weren't in love, look at how we operate not in love, and consider for a moment how the word sin for me only really means operating in a place that's in opposition to love. Not sex before marriage, not abortion, not any of that. Sin is just operating in a place that's in opposition to love. And how most often we don't necessarily sin against others, but we do. Most of the sinning that we do is for ourselves. We act in opposition of love for ourselves. So I want to thank everybody that's here, everybody that has devoted to their lives, to their families, to not having families, to their careers, to the societies and organizations of which they're a part, to their friends, to their friends' kids. Y'all are making a difference. You all are creating achievements that not only are published books and degrees on the wall, but lives that are changed through the acts of love. Remember that, and remember how that ripples out over and over and over. And I'll go with what Barbara said a little while ago. It doesn't cost a penny to be nice. So remember that as you make your way through the world. All my love to you. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next time for episode 31. All my love. Bye.